Hello everyone, how are you? Well, if I'm being honest, I've not been well this week, and actually I've not been well for a while. Uh, but I just wanted to do this video about like musicians and health, or even just like men and health. When you get to a certain age, more things start going wrong. And so, I sort of been, I don't know when, I can't say exactly when it started. When you always give the, it was just a few days ago, when the doctor asks you when did it start. But for me, I think it's been going on for a while. I've sort of been experiencing some sort of chest pain. And I was just putting it down to a bit of indigestion, or, a bit of giddiness or overexcitement. Sometimes getting like palpitations and things as well. I remember it was last year actually. It was in the previous job I was working at. Like one of the managers there decided to buy everybody pizza, and I remember just after a few bites of it, I was getting these really bad palpitations, and I was thinking, "Ooh, that's not a good sign." But as you do, you tend to ignore these things. Oh, I don't need to see a doctor. I'm fine. It's like that. That thing with the Black Knight in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Say, oh, I've had worse. Oh, it's just a scratch. It's just in this case, it's just a bit of pain. I've had worse, so I'm all right. But of course, I've not been all right. I've had this coming for a while. What's wrong then? Get to the point, Peter. What's wrong? Well, it was around Thursday that I was just getting these really bad chest pains, and it was getting worse. So I managed to sort of sit it out, for another day. And then Friday, we got this thing where in England where if you go to the local pharmacist. There's one in Boots, a chemist, sort of drugstore basically. You go to the pharmacy section, they'll check your blood for you, and they'll email the results straight over to the doctor. And I've been getting these text messages through about, we need to see your blood pressure. You're getting to that age now where it's becoming important. We need to see your blood pressure. So anyway, I went for this blood pressure test. And sitting around waiting, and as he did the test, 188 over 102. Ah, right, yes. Oh, yeah, Mr. Quinn, you need to see your GP now. This is serious. I was thinking, oh, I'm all right. I'm just a bit excited. I just come up the escalator, and so. But then she's showing me this chart that basically anything between 140 to 160 is level 1 hypertension, and anything over that is critical hypertension, where you're in line for a heart attack or a stroke or something along those lines. Now I don't want to alarm anybody, but I do want to draw the importance of this. If you are feeling a bit off, get yourself checked out, for goodness sake. So anyway, I went down the GP. Now the doctor's where I'm registered. It's not that far. In fact, in Leicester, the GP. You could probably actually, if you live in Leicester, you'd actually know which GP it is. But it's only about 5 minutes round the corner from where the shop is, from where the pharmacist is. So and I saw the GP. And then he took the blood pressure again, and it had gone up, partly because I'd been walking, but of course the actual shock of this is serious. So he said, yeah, I'm making an appointment with you at the hospital. You need to get there right now. I said, well, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, you can walk it. It's only about 10-minute walk from here. And it basically it was, but. So obviously I was okay enough to walk, and I actually found that that doing some exercise actually seemed to calm it down a little bit. Um, but then of course you get there and like the appointment is, you know, you're in the A&E department, you know, the accident and emergency. I don't know what it's called where you are, but there's this big sort of holding room of like all sorts of people, you know, like with you're seeing you know, like old people in wheelchairs, and there was some guy was like coughing his lungs up, and there was some really big guy, you know, like with like a walking frame, and he had like a cannula in his arm, and then there's a few other people like with these cannulas, and then there's you know, so there's so anyway, so I was there, and then you know they did an ECG, and then they took my blood pressure again, and then it's like sitting about waiting for the specialist. So you know, a few hours later, I see the specialist, and you know, so then they did like a blood test, and you know, then they gave me some meds just to calm my blood pressure down, and then I was sitting around again, and then they just wanted just to see, basically, you know, like, I mean, it seemed like, you know, it seemed like a long wait, but you can kind of see the reasoning where, you know, just to see how you go on, like, you know, like 2 or 3 hours to see if your blood pressure's coming down. However, sitting in a waiting room like that full of like really ill people, if anything's going to freak you out and give you high blood pressure, it's sitting in a place like that. You know, I've always had this thing about hospitals. It's one reason why I never actually ended up being a doctor. So that's another story, by the way. But yeah, so yeah, so and then yes, so I was told basically, yeah, that my blood pressure has been very high for a while. And like the GP and the 2 specialists I saw, because I was told to come back for a follow-up appointment on the Sunday in the afternoon. I wasn't there as long, but they did some more tests just to see how things had changed. And my blood pressure had come down, and it was sort of around the level 2 area, but even so, it was still high. So, but I was told that basically, like, the main cause of it is salt. Too much salt in the diet, and it's something I hadn't really considered before. You know, because I mean, you know, you get used to, you know, eating things, and I've been telling myself, you know, I was being a good boy by, you know, like following like you know, like a largely vegan diet with some fish supplements every so often. But of course, you know, what they don't tell you is that, like, you know, like these sort of veggie burgers and whatnot, and these French style lentils in whatever sauce, they're loaded up with salt. You know, it's all these hidden things. And then of course, you know, things at work, you know, where somebody does, you know, say treat everybody to pizza, or the other week, one of my work colleagues, she brought some samosas in, and they were very nice, but of course, you know, they're loaded up with salt. So I was given some more tablets, and I was given some. I was told, right, well, you know, at the GP, make an appointment with me for this week, which is basically, yeah. So I got an appointment on Friday. But I was given basically, like, you know, sort of 28 to 30 days just to see if it'll come down, you know, because of like being at high risk. So so I have had a few rough nights, to be honest, but getting a bit of a hiccup, sorry about that, but I've completely had to overhaul the diet, thrown stuff out, you know, which is like would have been perfectly edible, but just looking at the labels for things to try and bring the salt content down. I mean, like the UK, you know, to give you an idea, the UK, the recommended level of salt is 6 grams. Now think about that. Think about how much salt is in the average pizza or takeaway. You know, or I mean, quite often, with my friends, we might go out for an Indian meal. Um, just think about, how much salt is in it, and also, I mean, like, because primarily, my channel's been about music. I mean, I want to talk to like musicians in health, especially. I mean, okay, so I'm talking from a male perspective, but like for the women in who follow my channel as well, it's important for you too. To like, to try and just think a little bit more about like what you're eating, what you're consuming. But anyway, but I was just saying, because it's primarily a channel for music. It's been about music. This channel primarily. Sometimes, I mean, obviously, since lockdown, I've not been doing any gigs and things. But quite often, when you are out and about, you'll skip meals and you might just go for a takeaway or something. You go to, you go to the chip shop on the way home, or the good old English staple of chicken and chips. Like for the Americans in the audience, chips doesn't mean like those things you get in like things we call them crisps. Chips are the big thick cut slabs of potato. They're like very thick French fries. You might even call them Belgian fries, I suppose. And you basically, when you get them, they sprinkle loads of salt, more than 6 grams certainly, on the chips that you get. And then of course, like if you got like this fried chicken, and it's and then or like Chinese food as well, like loaded up with like MSG, monosodium glutamate. It's all these hidden things, so just to try and maintain good health, I just really just want to just want to tell everybody, just be a bit more wise, or else you might be at the point where I've been at, where you've been on the brink of a heart attack. Somebody telling you sort your diet out, or you're not going to be here anymore, or you're going to have a stroke, or so yeah. So I know it sounded a bit gloomy, but I just I just I mean I think a lot of all my followers and viewers, because I mean I like to think that if we met, that we'd probably be friends, and talk about music and guitars and favourite bands or whatever. But so from my perspective, because I've been ignoring this for so long, I don't want you to ignore it. If you're feeling ill, get yourself checked out, for goodness sake. Okay, that's really all I wanted to say. I know there's not any playing in this one tonight, and it's one reason why the videos have been a bit late of late, because I've just not been feeling up to it, and it also explains, like, I mean, I did a video a few weeks ago about where I thought I was having an anxiety attack, but actually it looks like I was just getting like something a bit more serious, getting some palpitations and whatnot, and my blood pressure was a bit high then as well. So yeah, so like I say, just keep an eye out for this one, because they do call it the silent killer. Hypertension, high blood pressure, and amongst men especially, and certainly amongst men of a certain age, it's something to be really mindful of. So you got any comments or questions, please put them below, and I'm going to do what I can to help. And I'm thinking going forward that musicians in health is going to be a significant part. I mean, maybe like I might just devote one day a week to musicians in health, whether that be psychological health or physical health or diet or just general well-being, because music is that thing which it should be the great healing thing that we've got between us. Of the art forms, music is that one thing that we all share together. So yeah, okay, so that's really all I wanted to say. There will be some more playing coming up soon, and hopefully some more reviews and things. Welcome to all my new subscribers, and if you're new to the channel, that's great as well. Welcome along. Yeah, alright, so thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.